tyre situation. Won't come out. Done them up way too tight. It's annoying. Doesn't mean I'm going to be making a fantastic job of it.
Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Marcus Hayes, and today is the day after I ripped the ST170 engine out of Esther, my Mk1 Escort. Today I'm heading down to my other garage again, and there's a couple of little jobs I want to take care of on Esther. I'm also going to make a start taking some of the parts off of her old engine and getting them ready to fit to the new engine. I also need to make a list of what gaskets and stuff I need to buy, and I'm hoping to spend a little bit more time on my Dads Mk3 Escort today as well. Now on the way to the garage I'm definitely going to be stopping off at McDonald's to get some grub, and when I get to the garage I need to have a little bit of a tidy up because it's a right mess around there, and then I'll get Esther out the garage and I'll switch the camera back on.
Thank you. Thanks. Alright, so I've made it to the garage and I've had a brief tidy up. Spilt some oil on the floor yesterday, so I've washed it away as best as I can with the Hydro Shot jet wash. Now I need to sort out my tyre situation before I can have a proper clear up in here. And while we're on the subject of tyres, I've still got a stack of 16-inch tyres that were fitted to the wheels that are now fitted to my Dads Mk3 Escort. Now these might be of use to some people for drifting or whatever. Basically I've got a 195 45 16 and the brand is Infinity. Plenty of tread left on it. I've got this one which is a Minerva, which is a 205 50 16. Plenty of tread on it, but it is sort of deteriorating on the sidewall. I've got this one which is a 3A, another budget I haven't heard of, and that's a 205 50 16 as well. Plenty of tread. I've got this Goodyear Eagle which is a 205 50 16. Little bit of tread left, and I've got this one which is a Wanley, never heard of them, which is also a 205 50 16 with quite a bit of tread. Yeah, if those tyres are any good to any of you guys, get in touch with me via social media. Now when I get around to actually sorting out my tyres, I do have 3 part-worn semi-slick Nankang NS2Rs here, and I've got some budget tyres that have still got loads of tread on. I've got some that are obviously no good, so yeah, at some point I need to go down the tyre shop with my spare tyres and all my wheels, and then hopefully I'll have a couple of sets of Steelies with decent tyres for if I ever actually get out to any more drift days. Now seeing as I had to move the engine out of my way to have a tidy up in the garage, I think the first thing I'm going to do today is remove all the bits from this engine that are going to be going on the other engine before I fit it to Esther. Things like the adapter plate, the clutch, this part of the water rail, this flame trap, the engine mounts, that sort of thing. And then they can join the pile of parts in this green crate. Right, so Esther's old ST170 engine is looking very bare now. Got this sort of fitting off the back of the water rail, and this is what the hose attaches to that goes into the heater. And I'm hoping that I can go to like a plumbing shop and get one with exactly the same thread as this, but with a thicker tube on it, so it's a nice tight fit on my heater hose. Because before I basically had this bit of rubber hose going over that and then the heater hose going onto it, like using this as a reducer, but it's not really ideal. I haven't taken the sump off yet. Once I've got the gasket, I'll take it off, wash it out and put it straight on the other engine. And did have a bit of a problem getting this adapter plate off this countersunk bolt here. won't come out, and I've actually ruined the Allen key hex in there. Obviously done them up way too tight. I do have these easy out, so I'm going to have a go at trying to get that out with these, but I don't think I'm going to have much luck, to be honest. That is really, really tight in there. Try this really massive easy out. Let's see if that does it. This ain't gonna work. No way. If I can carefully keep that out of the dowel there, hit the plate with a hammer, and just turn the whole plate off. Obviously don't want to bend the plate. Alright, we're getting somewhere. Probably should have tried this first when there was still a little bit of an Allen key hole in there. Alright, let's remove this bracket. Might have to just remove this. Have to bend it around this crank, got no choice. I suppose the plate will get flattened once I fit it back to the car, but it's definitely not ideal. Now the head's in the way. Stud ain't spinning. Only the plate is fighting me all the way. See, that ain't spinning, it's just the plate spinning. That is annoying. Oh, there you go. There it goes. Come on. Yeah. I'll pull on the plate this way, it sort of puts tension on that and makes it spin. Yeah. There we go. Yes. What a bitch that was. Right, so really happy that I managed to get that plate off. I should be able to bolt that to the new engine to flatten it back out. Just need to get another couple of those countersunk bolts. I think I've actually got some already. Now obviously some of these parts are just going to be kept as spares, and some of them are going to go straight on to the new engine. I've bolted the head back on to the bottom end now. There's pretty much nothing else off this engine that I'm going to need. I am just going to take this camshaft sensor though. And as I say, I will be taking the sump off and using that on the new engine, hopefully temporarily, because I don't like these sumps. And I will also be nicking these head studs on the inlet side and the exhaust side. But yeah, I'll take them out another day. For now, I'm going to put this engine in the garage somewhere and then crack on with something else. Right, so I've got Esther out of her garage, and one thing I really want to do while the engine's out of the way is give this engine bay a nice clean. Before I do that, there is a job I want to do that's going to create some mess. As I've mentioned before, I had to elongate the holes on these bonnet hinges to bring the bonnet forward enough, and it needs to come forward a slight amount more because I need to lower the back of the bonnet, and when you lower the back of the bonnet it does bring it back slightly. The problem is I really don't have much more room to go in terms of elongating these bolt holes on these hinges. Now where the bonnet actually rubs at the moment, on the way up, not on the way down, which is really weird, is where these bits of tape are. So I could, you know, shave the back edge of the bonnet where it does touch, which will give me another sort of 1/2 mil. But other than that, to bring the bonnet forward, the only thing I can think of is removing the riv nuts that are attached to the carbon fibre bonnet and repositioning those. But yeah, I'm going to elongate these holes so they are literally a hair away from the edge. Obviously, it's not ideal having such, you know, a weak bit of metal here on the hinges, but they do have 2 bolts each side. And with the bonnet being so light, you know, as long as it's attached, I think it'll be fine. Someone did suggest that maybe I could elongate the holes on the body here and bring the actual hinge itself forward. The thing is, this hole here is obviously, you know, an oval so that you've got the adjustment up and down. So, you know, I'd have to widen that whole oval hole this way as well as move this hole forward as well. So that's another option. But yeah, I'd rather not butcher the body of the car. You know, I'd much rather butcher these pattern hinges or modify the carbon fibre bonnet itself. But yeah, we'll see what we can do with these. One thing I've just realised is that last time I must have done it at sort of an angle like this. So even though it looked like I was really close to the edge, the underside bit wasn't. So this time I've sort of concentrated on boring the underneath bit, and that's pretty much as close as I dare to go. Just need to do the same with this one and the two that side, and hopefully that'll be enough. Obviously won't know until I refit the bonnet, but yeah, I'll crack on with those other holes and I'll catch up with you afterwards. Alright, so that is definitely as far as I'm willing to go. I'm going to remove this sheet now and chuck Esther back in her garage, because before I leave here today, I really want to spend a little bit of time on my Dads Mk3. Right, here we are back on the passenger side rear arch of my Dads Mk3. Definitely starting to take shape with all the fiberglass that I've put in and all the sanding I've done, but yeah, still quite a way to go. I think what I'm going to do is give it all a quick sand and then start thinking about putting some filler in. I'm going to be using this fantastic body filler. Doesn't mean I'm going to be making a fantastic job of it though. Loads and loads of filler. Obviously most of it will be sanded back out. Hopefully once I've sanded this skim down, it should be getting very close to being the right-ish shape. I'm going to let this go off and I want to try and sand it down before I go today. I've run out of daylight, so I'm going to pack up and go home. I wanted to at least start rubbing this down tonight, because once I've left it for a couple of days, it'll be even harder to sand down. I'm going to continue this video in a couple of days, so I'll see you in a sec. Hello. Right, so a few days have passed and I'm back around the garage with my Dads Mk3, and we can get a better look at what the arch is looking like now. It was getting dark in the last clip. But yeah, I've just done another sort of 45 minutes to an hour of sanding, and it really is starting to take shape now. I think this area needs a bit more sanding, and you know, in general I've got sort of pits in the filler. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it's coming out, even though I've already put way more work into it than I was hoping. I've masked up the car because I'm going to coat this area with etch primer again, because after today I'm going to be turning my attention back to Esther, and I'm actually hoping to fit the other engine this coming weekend. So yeah, there it is. Not sure if I'm going to get away with not giving it another full skim. I might just be able to put some stopper in the pits, and then the next stage might be high build 2-pack primer. Before I actually put the 2-pack primer on, I'll definitely be sanding that etch primer off and smoothing out the filler a bit more, and I'll be thoroughly cleaning the area with proper panel wipe. But for now, this sort of, you know, rushed coat of etch primer should hold back any rust from the bits that are bare metal. In fact, there's a bit there that I've missed. Dodgy. Oh no. Now, before I do leave here today, I'm going to remove this plate on the bulkhead where the heater pipes go through. I think I mentioned before that I don't like that the hole in this plate is only slightly bigger than the diameter of the pipes. I'm worried that, you know, with vibration of the engine and stuff, it might actually start eating into the pipe. And now that the engine's out of the way, it's obviously really easy to remove that plate. So I'm going to take that off. I can't bore them holes out now because I don't have any batteries here for the drill. I'm going to take it home and do it. And I'm not going to bother getting this re-zinc plated afterwards. I'll either just mask it all up except for the very edge there and spray a bit of silver, or I might actually paint that black. Yeah, I'll make my mind up later. Try and do this without actually taking the pipes off of the heater inside. Oh, that's annoying, like the pipe goes behind my rope that I've put there to hold the gearbox up. Sweet. Yeah, you can see that I had to sort of cut this foam for the pipes to go through because the hole in that was really small before. But yeah, I'm going to bore out the actual metal and obviously cut the foam out a bit more.
Alright, so back to work I go. Now, as I've already mentioned, I'm going to be turning my focus fully on getting the ST170 engine into Esther's bay. I'm going to keep going back round to the garage on my break times this week, just to clean up the engine bay and just do a couple of things to get her ready to accept the new engine. I really don't want this little mishap to set me back too far. I'm really keen to get the engine bolted into Esther as soon as I can. I might not start it up straight away because there's definitely a few things I think I should test before I try and start it up. But yeah, it's springtime now officially. The weather's getting better, so I just need to keep busy and keep chipping away at things, and hopefully we'll have a decent summer with the cars this year. So I'm going to end this video here. If you did think it was any good, please do give it a thumbs up and a share. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Click subscribe to keep up to date with all my future uploads, and check the links in the description to my social media and my website. I'll also leave my email address down there for anyone who wants to contact me. Thank you so much to each and every one of you for your continued support of my channel. But other than that, until next time, thanks for watching.